you've made statements regarding doing a top-to-bottom review and reporting back to the commission with respect to that. We're of course anxious to hear that. Council member Mitch Englander has also asked for a review of all youth programs. I also believe it's the responsibility of the commission to take a look into these issues as well. So I'm going to ask the Inspector General, with the concurrence of my colleagues, to inspect and review the following three areas. Number one, review the process that the department utilizes to recruit, select, supervise, and oversee the individuals in the cadet program, and any recommended changes in those processes. Review the policies, procedures, and guidelines that outline the responsibility of all of our department personnel relative to interactions and relationships that they may have with our department cadets. And then third, review of the policies and procedures in each of the 21 divisions relative to the accountability of checking out and in of department equipment by our personnel to ensure that adequate safeguards are in place, and recommend any changes in those processes. Since this is an urgent matter, we are off. We have a meeting next Thursday, but then we have a couple weeks where we're off. I'd like to report it back to us on July 25th, 2017. And Chief, it would be great if you could give us a little bit more background into the review process that you're going to do into the cadet program, or that you're in the process of doing. Thank you.
Absolutely, Commissioner, and much of that is underway by the department now, so we welcome the Inspector General's partnership in looking at this, and it's a great way to make our findings public as well as whatever corrective action we take. So since, since I last reported to you, a couple of things have happened. One, we had a department-wide cadet inspection on Saturday. Commissioner Figueroa attended, as well as several thousand parents and about 1,300 cadets. At that inspection, I was able to talk about my expectations, not only for the cadets, but also for department personnel that are directly involved with them. I also took it as an opportunity to speak to all the youth service officers, the people that directly supervise the cadet programs in each of the cadet posts. I got a chance to talk to the commanding officers that oversee the divisions, and also to a lot of the parents. So those were good things. And we talked about the need to commit to creating a safe environment for our children, and to having a program that prepares them not only for the possibility that they may be a police officer, but also for the definite occurrence of their progression into adulthood and whatever they happen to choose to do outside of police work, and make them better prepared for that. So we talked about all of that, and it was a good chance to look at every cadet in the eye and commit to them that we were going to treat them like our own, and with their best interests at heart, move forward with a program that has made a tremendous difference in a lot of very difficult circumstances, and help develop leadership in the city of Los Angeles to young people. So that was a very positive thing. I've also directed a couple of actions from my staff that oversees the general nature of the cadet program. One is to put out a department policy this week, or department directive from the chief of police. I'll put out a policy until you approve it. But a directive from the chief of police that limits one-on-one contact between police officers and members of the cadet corps, and also limits social media connectivity between the two. Not intended to limit connectivity in a way that that the youth service officers communicate to the cadet post, which is largely via social media, but definitely limit one-on-one texting and those things, especially from folks that are outside the chain of command of the cadet post. So those things are underway. Also, we have made very, very clear that cadets are not to drive LAPD vehicles, regardless of whether they're black and white or any other type. So those changes have been made immediately. I am meeting this week with all of our YSOs in a vertical staff meeting. I'm going to hear from them. And I'm also meeting in a separate staff meeting with all of our community relations sergeants that oversee our youth programs. And with them, I'll talk about some of these changes and also talk about my expectations of the program and get feedback from them on what they think would be the best ways to not only improve the program, but to make sure that we don't have a reoccurrence of any of the actions that happened last week. The department is moving forward with a criminal investigation relative to Kane. As was reported widely during the service of search warrants, multiple weapons were taken into police custody. Those weapons are being examined to see if they are legal in the state of California. I will report that there is some amount of them that we believe are not at this point. We're working with the ATF and charges relative to those issues will be filed with the district attorney as appropriate and when appropriate. Some of the other issues that we're working on is continuing towards putting out a new manual for cadet operations. This has been in progress for quite some time. So we're going to adjust that to the new realities that we're dealing with in these programs and move forward with that. As far as the investigation into the use of police vehicles and the taking of equipment, we have accounted, as I said last week, for all of our police vehicles. We don't see any of those outstanding. We have not found anything in our investigation so far that leads to any other full-time department employees. And we have, in our investigation, found a handful of cadets that may have had some knowledge or association with the group already arrested that could cause a reaction by the department, either a criminal investigation or removal from the program or a diversion. You know, these are much less involved individuals, and so we're looking at them, and I will make the commission aware when that comes to fruition. So a lot happened in just over a week, and we will continue to keep you updated. I think that it's important to recognize the value of the program, the nature of the young folks and their circumstance makes them, puts them to a great advantage if the program works for them. So we think that it's important that it continues. But we want to make sure that our kids are safe and that they're not subject to a predatory action and not put in positions where they are likely to make the wrong decision. So we'll make sure all that is attended to, and I'll report back to the commission. And we're also looking at the structure of the oversight of the program, and that will be something that I deal with as appropriate and make the commission aware when that happens.
I just want to reiterate that I remain a huge supporter of the program. In the 2 years that I've been on the commission, I've had
So predatory action is the new euphemism for rape.
occasions, and these are good kids who are in the program for the right reasons and who are getting a lot of great skills, leadership skills, character skills out of the program. I've also had the opportunity to interact directly with a large number of youth service officers. who are also engaged in the program for the right reasons and really want to make a difference in these kids' lives and the community. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for police and community members to interact in a non-enforcement capacity. We will fix what needs to be fixed, in my opinion, and this will continue to be a bright spot for the LAPD. Anecdotally, I was out to dinner with my family on Saturday night to a restaurant that I go to pretty frequently with my family, and the manager came up to me and he introduced himself. He asked me if I was, he said, I know you're president of the police commission. I said, yeah. He said, I just want to tell you that I was a cadet in my youth, and it is the reason why I'm here today, and it turned my life around. And he's like, I just really hope that the program continues. It's a great program. He had friends that were lost to gang violence, lost to jail, and he and a couple of other friends of his joined the cadet program, and it was a difference maker in his life, and he wanted to make sure I knew the importance of the program to him and to others like him, and express his wish that we didn't overreact to this situation and lose something that was a very valuable asset to the city.
Charlie Beck.
Yeah.
Fire Charlie Beck.
Fire Charlie Beck. Fire Charlie Beck. Fire Charlie Beck.
Okay, can we have order, please? Thank you. I assured him that it was the intention of myself and many of the other commissioners and people in the department that the program would grow stronger because of this. It would not go away.
And that's great feedback, because I received many emails, personal calls, people reaching out saying basically the same thing, that the cadet program and its predecessor, the Explorer program, made a huge difference in their lives, including many current Los Angeles police officers. I had a police officer come up to me at the cadet inspection. His children are in the program. He was in the program. You know, he sees it as one of the things that truly form the character of his family. So we want to make sure that continues. You know, you brought up the youth service officers. You know, I think that one of the things we may find out is that it's time to put our money where our mouth is and look at that position in a higher stature within the department. I think it's important that we not only attract the best of the best for that, but reward them for their participation, you know, and make sure that they hold the appropriate amount of esteem within the organization. And you know, that may be one of the things that we look at. You know, we may look at a stronger centralized control model through the geographic bureaus and through the chief's office, and a couple of things that I think will make a difference. You know, but it comes down to character and oversight, and you know, making sure that we help instill character in the people involved in the program and in the police officers interact, and then make sure we have appropriate oversight to ensure that character is exercised appropriately. So we will continue to do that, and I think that the program will emerge from this stronger than ever. At least that's my goal.
Great, thank you.
Fire Charlie Beck.
Fire Charlie Beck.
15 minutes and they don't use the word rape.
Yeah, I just wanted to ditto what our president said, but I also wanted to, I don't know what the review process for recruitment is now, Chief. However, when we bring that report back, those that aren't selected, If there is something we can do to refer them to other places, because I know many of the cadets that I've spoken to, they can't find other, maybe nonprofits or parks or other places for them to go. So I guess what I'm asking is could we ask you to come back with alternatives for those kids that don't make it to the cadet?
A child got raped, and this is her
We
comment.
can definitely include that. You know, the department has 5 youth programs tailored to different needs, and sometimes those programs are appropriate. Many times it's a local program. You know, the cadets are a very localized program in that, you know, where they live determines, you know, what fits for them. So, you know, what's available in 77th is very different than what's available in West LA, which is very different than what's available in Van Nuys. So, you know, we can address it in a general way and talk about some of the specific referral programs that we have. And it may be that some of the young people that are involved on the periphery of this incident get referred into those programs. You know, I think that one of the things that I look for in the department, and I believe that the commission looks for also, is a sense of justice and the recognition that one size does not fit all.